Welcome to the first episode of Sketchup WEB for making stages for concerts and events. A great free tool for making awesome stages. Super easy. By the end of this series, you will be making your own stage and share with the other professionals in the industry. Say sound engineers, light engineers, LED crews and stage installation team. In this first episode, we will quickly check out the workspace and tools to get started with 3D stage design. Before I even start, let me mention, if someone tries to scare you off saying,
you must need blah 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 spec to do 3D design.
Yes, you might, but not in Sketchup WEB. The research and study part of this series was done in a machine which is very much weaker than any of your laptops. So here's the minimum requirement for Sketchup WEB. So let's just shut up and dive in. First thing first, as the name says, this is web based. So let's log into app.sketchup.com into our web browser. Use your login, Google, Apple or Microsoft. In this case, I'm going to use mine. So this is our home. We will be back here over and over. All our projects will be here. So before we even start the starting, let's set our units to decimals, inches, and let's just start modeling. So this part here is our toolbox. I'm not going to bore you guys to death by defining one by one. Rather, I'm going to show them as we go. A tip, I'm going to refer to some keyboard shortcuts, so you should probably pick them up as well. This is going to save your time a lot. Let's quickly see how we can use them. Let's select the rectangle tool from here. As you can see, as I put my mouse over here, the shortcut pops in. Means you can use R for rectangle tool. Let's press R for rectangle. So now let's draw a box like this. Let's select push pull from here or press P and pull it up. Now let's select the orbit tool, or the shortcut is O. Click your mouse anywhere and turn it around. Use your mouse scroll to zoom in and out. It's that simple. On the right side we have our workspace tray. This part a little serious, so we will dig them only if we need them. I promise you not to scare you off with anything you won't need. And if we need, we can always check out awesome in-depth channels like SketchUp Essentials. Now we can draw boxes and turn them around, zoom in and out in a 3D world. So get ready to flex your creative muscles and let's just dive in. So let's start fresh. Let's click create new. On the left side, let's take a look at the tools we will be using. The line tool, the rectangle tool and the circle tool and the spacebar for selection tool will be your new best buddies on this software. So you should keep the shortcuts in your mind. So they are L for line, R for rectangle, C for the circle and spacebar for selection. So think of them as your best friends. So let's start with making a stage base. We can select line tool or press L. Important note, you don't need to draw this tool like clicking and holding and dragging. Rather, you click at the first point and move your mouse along the direction to the second point and then click to end this line. Let's press Ctrl Z and undo whatever we were doing. Let's click at the model anchor point at the dead center to start drawing. Look how my mouse is reacting before I put it on the green axis. It's trying to lock it here. So wow, there's a beautiful line. So how long is this line? We don't know. So let's try to draw our lines where we know our measurement. So let's try to use real life measurements from this point onwards. To do that, I will click at this point, move my mouse to the axis I want to work, type in a measurement. In this case, I'm going to type 40 feet and hit enter. Now we have a solid 40 feet line. So now let's draw the depth in similar ways. This time, let's draw it in 32 feet. So let's draw other two lines to make it a rectangle. This one being a 32 feet line. Let's click this point of the line. Let's try to draw a line like here. You see this is trying to snap. So let's click here. So the moment you finish drawing the rectangle, SketchUp automatically fills up the closed space within the stroke with fills. Hold on so far, whatever we did was cool so far. But are we gonna do like this all the time? Here's a faster way to do the same thing. Let's select the eraser tool from here or hit keyboard E. Let's try to erase this line. Check this out. If you erase one stroke making this shape open-ended, the feel of the shape will also go away. So let's erase all the lines we have. Let's click at the anchor point and move the mouse to the diagonal axis, but don't click yet. Now let's type 40 feet, comma 32 feet. Let's hit enter. Voila! We are done with our perfect stage base. Same thing done, but this one super fast. We will have many more application of this trick. Now let's hit P for push pull tool. Let's click on the surface we want to pull. Let's move our mouse on the axis we want to push. Let's type 4 feet and hit enter. There you go. We have made a meaningful stage. Now let's hit O for orbit and let's rotate and watch what we have done. Nice. One more essential selecting feature you must know. On a model, if you single click, you select the surface or the stroke. If you double click, you select the face. If you triple click, you select the whole ungrouped model. Now let's make this stage base a component. A component is like a group with models or a bunch of models or a bundle of components. To do that, we are going to triple click our model, then hit G to make it a component. Let's write title. You can also write description. Let's hit OK. So we have component section in our workspace on the right side. All our components will be here. If we're done with our workspace, let's fold it down. So we will conclude this video with making stairways to this stage. For that, let's hit O for selecting orbit tool. Let's turn around. Let's hit R for rectangle tool. Let's click on this point. Let's move our mouse but not click yet. Let's type 8 feet, comma 8 feet. Let's hit enter. Let's scroll our mouse wheel to zoom in a little bit. Let's hit L. You see, the midpoint is getting snapped if you move your mouse across this line. So let's click this point, move our mouse across this point. This makes it perfect two parts. Let's draw more lines. Let's find our midpoint of this area. Let's draw one more line. P to select the push pull tool. Let's pull this surface to 3 feet. Let's pull this one to 2 feet. Let's pull this one to 1 feet. This one is fine. Let's hit space to get the selection tool. Let's triple click the model. Let's hit G to make a component. Let's name it stairs. So let's zoom out. Let's select this component. Hit Ctrl C to copy. Let's hit O for orbit. Let's turn around. Go to the other part of the stage. Let's hit H for hand tool. Let's hit space for the selection tool. Let's press Ctrl V to paste our component. Let's place it somewhere here. Now let's turn it around. Let's select the rotate tool from here. Select any 2 points of the model to select the axis. Let's try to turn it around, yet not click it. Let's write 180 degree. Let's hit O for orbit. Let's turn it around. Let's hit M for move tool. Let's click on this point and let's snap it to this point. Now we have a stage where at least the artist can get up. Note that these two components are same components. So if I edit one, this will affect both of them. So if you don't want to do that, right click on the component and select make unique. That will make it a different component, not connected to one. We will go to the next level of drawing 3D models in SketchUp in our next episode. So hit a like, maybe subscribe as well.